bodies. Look at our situation in Palestine, which has been going on for 7 decades now. I think we have to go back to the time just before it started. It's always good to inspect yourself internally, to look inside, to see what really happened. And I have a fear that many younger people now do not know the history. They don't know how it started. So if you look up to 1914, approximately, the whole area, the whole Arab world, including Iraq, Makkah Sharif, Medina Sharif, were governed by the Dawlat al-Uthmaniyya, which is the Ottoman Empire. And that had been ruling not just a few years, but for whole 5 centuries. Continuous one family, one administration ruling for 500 years. That is one of the records in human history. And what did they give? They gave stability, they gave peace. And if we just look at Palestine, they were multi-ethnic, multi-religious society. There were Muslims, Christians, Jews, and a lot of the Christians were the Arabs. Arab Christians were still there now. And they were Iraqis, they were Iranians, they were all types of different madhabs, all coexisting. Not just the Hebrew. And then, of course, we know history, that the Ottoman Empire and generally the Muslim forces were losing power. And after the end of the First World War, which was 1918 to 1920, the power of the Ottomans started going down. So they started losing popularity and power. But what did our Arab brothers do who have been ruled directly by them in that area? They applauded that. They got in connection with the European powers. And they thought these European powers are promising us, and they did make promises. But I must say they were false promises, as history will tell you. Simple, look at history. I'm not saying that. They promised one thing to the Arabs. They said, rebel against the Turks, as they call them, and we will give you everything. But they gave them nothing except trouble, subhanAllah. So, and Allah said, وَإِن كَفَرْتُمْ إِنَّ عَذَابِي لَشَدِيدٌ. Says, if you are ungrateful to me, beware. My punishment is severe. Subhanallah. Do you think that doesn't apply to Arabs? Doesn't apply to Pakistanis or Iranians? No. Or to Africans, it applies to everybody, oh, sons of Adam. If you are ungrateful, Allah said, I'll take this community away. The Ottomans who you're complaining about, let's bring somebody else. What will you do then? Do we not have a duty to remind our Palestinian brothers and the other Arab countries who are suffering? Think of that. And if you can do nothing else, at least say, Astaghfirullah, Ya Rabbi. I apologize, Ya Rabbi, for the faults of my fathers and grandfathers. We are in a masjid here. We have to look at what Allah would ask us to do. We don't look at what the politicians or the clever people in society are planning. We don't look at what the enemies of the Muslims are planning. We are a masjid here, we are a place of worship. And who do we worship? The colonialist, the power, the superpower, the bombs, the Sten guns, the machine guns. Do we worship those? Or who is Allah Supreme? Subhanallah. That is what the duty of a Muslim. Because even though Al-Aqsa is the one which Barakna, hawlahu, Allah says, I have increased the blessings in there. Subhanallah. That area, and Aqsa by extension will be much of Palestine. So for every mu'min, every Muslim, for every follower of Sayyidina Muhammad, it's a dear place. And we allow it to be dear also for the Christians. It's a place of Hazrat Isa, and for the Jewish people, it is a place for their prophets. But in Jerusalem it is said there's not a square foot, not 1 square foot where a prophet has not stood, has not passed by, has not lived over the centuries. And all the prophets are the brothers of Sayyidina Muhammad. They are our prophets as well. But we get